Hey, it's Glines from the Automator, and another episode of what we automated this week with AutoHotkey. Let me switch over to my desktop, run the most recently modified files. I'm using prompt assistant here. This is going to kick off several things, changes my DPI on that monitor specifically, not just my webcam reminder, which I still got to remember to save the settings to adjust it so I don't have to do that there. There we go. Wow, not what I intended. Thank you, Windows. So it's looking for recently modified files. These are files that have been modified in the last 7 days. As you can see right here, of course you can change this to different things and looking at different places. Got a lot of client stuff we're getting ready to release for our client. Oh yeah, that was interesting. So bad code. So I'm working on an error checker, and so this is a bad script right here. If I run it, I think I'm running my error checker right now, so I launch this thing, we'll get this, but see this error assist, and I'm showing a message box to show me what it actually, this text right here is on my clipboard, so if I'm working with AI, I can paste it in there. I don't have to go copy it from here, and it even cleans it up a bit as well, so there's a little bit less text. So this line is not, so I need to work on this one as well of when there are errors to go look for certain things. It's going to be very cool to really speed up the getting feedback from AI. You're working with AI, it gives you some code, you run it, and then you have issues and you want to push them back into AI, so it's going to really streamline that process. I was originally trying to monitor all the PIDs from new AutoHotkey scripts, and came out with a whole AI solved this other thing. What I do have a way to check the syntax errors, but we need to now combine the two with the runtime and syntax errors. SVG had it save. This one, I had a really interesting idea. Now this one, this just goes, it'll preview, AI generated this one, it'll preview a given, I thought it was supposed to load with an example, but I should have one. Nope. I was listening to Fleetwood Mac, if you can't tell. Is there an SVG here? Yeah, so SVGs are kind of like HTML, right? Here's the code, and this is the text. And so last week, I saw that with Claude, I think it might have been OpenAI, you can connect to your Canva account. And I was trying to use AI to generate my thumbnails, and it was failing horribly. But what I realized was, hey, if I can standardize this and make it where I can just drop in some text and show the text and color the words I want, and then apply that to my background thumbnail of the Automator, which is basically what I have. Let me go ahead and close that. I'll move this out of the way for a second. This background screen, this is the bottom left, then I have AutoHotkey icon on the bottom right. So I could just take that text, which is an SVG file, generating it, and overlay that, and then save it like as a PNG, so I can use that for the thumbnails in YouTube, and that would really save me not a crazy amount of time, because in Canva it's pretty fast, but the saving from Canva sucks. Downloading them, it's like 5 clicks to get your stupid download. Not that we can't automate that, but it's just not worth the effort to me. I'd love to have a tool, because I think a lot of other people would do, to be able to generate your text using an editor that generates the SVG, and then just apply a background thumbnail, and you're good to go. Read and compare files. This was a Hero member was asked a question during last week's Hero call. I think I talked through the solution we came up for him. It was pretty cool. Our AI OCR tool, we made a couple. Let me go ahead and launch it here. I don't think I'm running it. Yeah, here we go. It reminds me. Now, this here is a table, there's text in a table, right? So I'm going to hold down the hotkey and grab it. And if it thinks it's a table, it will try to push it into a table view, which is really cool because you can copy a given column or a given row. So it pushes it in AI. Now you can see, and I can actually sort on the different columns if I cared to. Maybe we should have an original sort here, because now I don't have a way to get back to that original sort value. I think it's based off the location, right? But maybe that's something we should add to that to make it easy to get back to the original order. But before, you'd have to right-click here, say select all or copy all. And Connie, a Hero member, said, how about, I think he said he wanted a hotkey. And I said, what I'd rather do is just put a button up here. So if you're happy without selecting anything, if you just hit copy, it copies all of that to your clipboard, right? So it's quick and easy. And again, you can go in and actually edit what's here, and when you come back here, it puts it back into that table. The problem is it's out of order, right? This is the original order. That's funny. This is the new order. So somewhere, there it is. This is the one that got changed. But again, I hadn't thought through of like, after you click the columns, maybe you want to get back to that original order. So I think that's a good add to this. Also in this thing, I can hit read out, and the text, let me see if I'll play it here. It'll generate audio, and the audio quality is really good. I think we're using
Manager.ag, shared clients, prospect finder, lib-classes.
Oh, that just selected that one. Let me try the next one.
KB notification test G, shared clients, Jeff B, prospect finder -GUI.
That inflection and everything, really good. Very, very cool. So, and if you go in here, you can actually see, you can translate it and have your responses translated onto languages. You can change your hotkey. You can change the prompt. And in this prompt, we have our default stuff, but of course you could go change it. You can actually even have different prompts that you'd have. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and we're looking at making more tools like this. We're also, which actually this would be another great example, during the hero call came up, a really interesting idea was, and I don't have it running. Well, let me go launch it, and it'll make a little more sense. So let's see our transcribe and summarize. Well, that was the one we worked on, but let me calling transcribe and summarize. So this is the one where we can push files to that automatically, but the effortless video reducer is the one. Call EVR. Okay, so this script, what I did was I'm going to pull it up. I have a hotkey for that. Our effortless video reducer will greatly reduce the file size of given scripts. And I have preset some defaults in here. You can change them, and you can change your preferences for the defaults. You can save the default settings, whatever you want, right? So, but what I realized was constantly I have to start this script, and I'm in Explorer, and I have to find my videos. Let's just go to a folder where I have some videos. So this video here is a minute, 19 seconds. I think it's an intro or something. And normally I would drag it onto here, which, it's not terrible. And I know this is just one of the things you get lazy, right? And you're like, why do I have to start this script and then go find the file and drag it to it? What if I'm in Explorer and I want to just be able to send it to that script? So that's what our this other tool. So notice it shrank it down to 7% of the original file size, right? Without really compromising the quality overly too much. But what I did was I built a tool. Did I launch the other tool? Call EVR. Now I don't remember. Oh, that's because I added it to Prompt Assistant. So now I can select my file, and in Prompt Assistant, I would go to Tools, FFMPEG, and Process through EVR. And now it takes that selected file, starts the script for me, and pushes it to it, right? So saves me, once I remember how to do it, it saves me those steps. So, and I could select multiple files and feed it all to it. So, but the general concept is we're adding command line parameters for our GUI scripts and other scripts, but allow us to preset some of the values and use command line parameters to drive the tool. So again, I will close this. These have already been processed, but I'll just take these 4 and just show you. So I would come into Prompt Assistant, Tools, and I can also make a hotkey, of course, in our tool for it. So I can assign a hotkey to this, so I don't have to do all this. But this will push all of these files, and it's going to start at 1 of 4, right? It's looping through all of those. So I'm going to say skip all. But you get the idea, right? So very cool. We added that to our transcribe and summarize tool because one of our hero members, Ray, was constantly using that tool to get the summaries. And we're like, well, our tool doesn't allow command line parameters, but we're like, maybe for some things we should. So it's a really, really interesting idea. And I implemented on this one myself just because I'm like, I use this effortless video reducer all the time, And it's just a great little tool for doing that. So let me get back to where we were. Sorry for jumping around. You see our error logger. That's what I was talking about earlier. Capture HK. Yeah, again, there was a lot of stuff I was playing with this, but some of it panned out, some of it didn't. Some of the stuff is so complicated, I need Isaias to help me combine the two and finish it, because I just don't think I could struggle with it for a while, so I'm not going to try. Smart file renamer. Like the smart file search. Now, we didn't finish this one, but I did launch this one. I did create it. And I preset the folder. I can go choose a different folder, but I can put a prompt in here and say, so notice I'm doing like a fuzzy match, right? Saying around starting up. Hopefully, it should come back. It's sending all those, and it found 57 matching files. So interesting. I don't know why the clipboard would have to do starting up, but again, this is the prompt, and we need to give it better instructions. But think about AI as being like the ultimate fuzzy matching type thing, right? I can also filter on an extension, so I only want to look at PNG files, and I want to look at the folder recursively. So look for people. I don't know, but it'll be a very cool tool once we're done. So 8 matching files. Let's see what that. Oh, so Kathy, yeah. Joe, cool. Look at that. That's really, really interesting, right? That's another guy. That's funny. So you get the idea, right? I think that AI, we're incorporating with more of our tools, and the concept is just really cool. Here's the calling, transcribe, and summarize that I've had jumped to. Prompts. Not sure what that even is, but it's in our transcribe and summarize. Oh, we were changing the prompts, yeah. Because in the transcribe and summarize, when you call it, calling, transcribe, and summarize, I don't remember what I added the hotkey. Let's see if it's, I'm going to double click it. I hard coded it. So now the script should be running. But in here, let's see here. I think it was Control T. Oh, look at that. Oh, and my error assist is helping me. That's hilarious. Calling, transcribes, trim. So I didn't pass it a file, apparently. Which is fine, but I need to build some error checking into that. So let me exit that. And now let me go back to the file where I have videos, and I'm going to pretend I'm going to call it unless I hit Control T and try it again. I don't know if it's still running. Let's try it one more time. No, so let me relaunch the script. Come back to here. Control T. Now this is a list of the prompts in that tool that I might want to use to summarize it, right? So it will automatically, if I say HK Hero, it will launch the tool, push the file to it, and set this summary right here for me, right? So I don't have to go in after the fact and change that. What we might even do is say, hey, automatically run the prompt after, but I like to assign the speakers. This is why I don't do that step automatically. But it's still a very cool concept to be able to pass it parameters to the script and to be able to do what you want, right? Obviously, there's more. Why we need to test this stuff is there's more stuff to check there. Customer sales, don't need to open that one. We're doing some work on our website and looking at different things. We had a really interesting idea of all this stuff with AI and everything we're doing. It's great, but it requires you to have an API token. And the vast majority of people, on the planet have no idea about AI and how to go get a token. And they get very confused. They sign up for the $20 a month program when they don't need to. All they need is the token. That's like a pay-as-you-go type approach. And I suggested to our guys, the automator, I'm like, what if we were able to go create their accounts and on the automator, they go pay their bill there, just say, hey, okay, let's see how much you've used your AI tools this month, and they get charged that cost for their token usage, but we go get the token for them and put it in their tool for them, because that's the part that people get very confused about. So we're working with a new WordPress guy, and he said it's doable and stuff, so we're going to look into doing that, because suddenly a lot more people can be using our tools, because we create tools, but no one knows how to add the token. During the hero call, Dale was asking about find text. I did find, by the way, he was using an older version. I think he was on version 8 maybe, but I found a find text version 10, and he wanted to change some of the stuff in it. The GUI, the size of the capture screen, and Isaiah was showing him was really complicated script and showing how to go and update the GUI so it would stay by default. Isaiah actually made it where it would remember what the change was, so not only would it set it, but if you adjusted it and saved it, it would restore it when you start it again, which is cool. Get active path. I'm not sure what change we made in that, but that's a great tool. Gets the path of your active file depending on what program you're in. This command line parser. This is the script where these will be like the key terms that we can pass, and they're kind of based on the different things you might do. So we're trying to build a list of unique keys that would be unique across the different things that we do, and that way we have a nice structure. Like, think of if you've used FFMPEG, they have a crazy number of words that are their key and value pairs that you use. And so we're trying to come up with a list before we start implementing it all. We're going to come up with our list that goes across tools so we don't have to reinvent things later. Isaiah was working on the FFmpeg library to get it where it would close. We had an interesting idea. It was always being problematic on our client's computer and on my computer, but Isaiah didn't know that. He was working on the client's computer, and he was trying to automatically close FFmpeg with a certain approach. And he thought he was doing it on his computer and it worked. Then he brought it to the customer's computer and it still didn't work. And I said, yeah, that's why in the desktop recorder, I leave the command prompt up when it's there, because if you send that hotkey to that window, it does close it for me every time. And so I suggested to Isaiah, I said make it window translucent where people don't see it, and he was thinking of just moving it off screen. And so between the two of those, I think we'll find a good, reliable way to kill FFmpeg gracefully and know that we killed it. But yeah, we were working on that. During the hero call, and I extracted the video, Ray was showing us some really cool stuff he had done with uploading a bunch of stuff, but he was using JSON files in this chain of actions that he takes. And we were just saying, yeah, but with the API class that we have, you could structure all that with your AutoHotkey code itself. You don't have to be, I don't know if he's paying for the other service, but you could be doing all this stuff with it. So that's really cool. The suspender class, we did talk about that during the hero call, because this class, which we need to release, it allows you to suspend a given executable. The problem with Dropbox was, even though you suspended it still kind of left it in a state that wasn't quite ready the way we wanted it. So it's unfortunate. It doesn't exactly fix the thing that we were trying to solve, but it is still cool to be able to suspend a given executable and unsuspend it easily. Customer list, yeah. So the rest of the stuff is just, I don't want to click on it because it might pull up a bunch of private data. But anyway, I hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed that. If you learned something here and like what we're doing, like the video, it really helps us out. Have an amazing day. Remember, our hero calls this is where you can dive into a lot of stuff and ask specific questions, and we can help you work on what you're working on. Have a great day. Cheers.